Let's talk about stress control. I want to give you some tips that may help you. And during this time of the corona pandemic, one of the first things I want to mention is how important it is for you to get outside. There is some research that shows that going outside and walking, especially among leafy trees, is actually more effective than using some of the anti-anxiety medicines. That's good information. So I hope you will get outside, even if it's for brief periods, even if it's just walking around in your yard on your own or with the person you're taking care of. Just try to take some breaks. Also, please stay in touch as much as you can, talking, using Facebook, using Zoom, using some of these techniques now that we can use with computers to connect with your family and friends often to help you with that sense of isolation that can create stress. Let's dive into the typical techniques that I talk about with people to try to help. The first one is probably the most important because you're going to use it over and over again in every kind of situation. And that one is choose the lesser stressor. I hope you will embrace this mantra, choose the lesser stressor. And what I mean by that is in everyday life, a lot of times, especially the routines we were used to before we became caregivers, we just take for granted that we do things in a certain way. For example, if you invite your family over for a meal, whether it's a big holiday event or just to gather in some way, maybe on your back porch or in your backyard, have them bring all the food. Have them do all the work. Choose the lesser stressor for yourself. You provide the place and let them do everything else. That's an example of choosing the lesser stressor. I hope that you'll embrace that across the board because it can make a big difference. Recognizing the forms that stress can take is really important. Things like hurt, guilt, frustration, fear, and worry. All of these things are forms of stress. Stress often looks like anger. Your loved one, when they are feeling stress, are going to look angry. They're going to sound angry. When you are feeling it, it may feel like anger. So when you're feeling these things, try to get underneath and see, is it something I'm afraid of? Is it based on worry? Is it frustration with something? If you can name it, if you can figure out what's underneath your feeling, for some reason you get released from that to some degree. So naming it is a simple technique that you can use. Another simple technique is speaking slowly. If you find yourself in a stressful situation, you may be speaking louder, you may be speaking faster. So lowering your voice, slowing your voice can actually change the body chemistry within you. Isn't that amazing? I've practiced this and it is true. It really does change the way your body feels. Taking deep breaths, another simple technique. Trying to exit a situation if you can, or even if you have to stay in the middle of it. Taking deep breath and holding it a bit and then releasing it also chemically changes your body. So learning these simple techniques to name what is underneath your stress, to take deep breaths, to speak softly, to speak slowly. Very simple things don't cost you a penny, but they can lower your stress and they can help you. Using the improv technique helped me a lot also. And the story I tell with that is when John had a caregiver that he had a bit of a crush on. And I walked into the room one day and he said, "We're going out west together." And I said, "Oh, out west together? Out west." I remember when we went out west with the kids and we went hiking in the Grand Canyon and just saw these beautiful places. And John said, yeah. He was able to shift off from where he was. So you've seen these comedy routines, these shows where they'll throw out, one of the people will throw out a comment and the other person has to take that comment and do some improv acting with that. Practicing that technique in your home whenever you're with your loved one can really help you quite a bit. And you'll have some good stories to tell later. trying to notice how I diverted John's attention from going out west with a caregiver, which was inappropriate, to something very appropriate. I was reminiscing, and he was able to join me in that with a very pleasant family memory. So diverting the conversation, diverting attention, if you can do that. If you can't, remember, try to exit, do the deep breathing, and just get yourself in a little bit different place. Staying in the moment is a hugely valuable technique that my counselor taught us. John and I both went to counseling. I do encourage that as long as he could go, and then when he couldn't, I continued to go. And even after he passed away, I continued to go for the grief counseling. But the counselor had to tell me over and over and over again, stay in the moment. Remember, what's in the past exists only in your head. It's not real anymore. What you're worried about in the future is likely not to happen, at least in the detail you're thinking it. So in the moment, this is real. This is life. This is what you can have an impact on. Staying in the moment and remembering almost all the time, this moment is doable. That is hugely, hugely valuable to controlling your stress and giving you a very different experience of caring for your loved one. Staying in the moment, remembering that it's doable. I really encourage you to do that. Getting counseling for more stress reduction techniques is also something that I highly recommend. Counselors are very wise, and in this day and age with the pandemic, see if you can plug into a telehealth experience where you can get help. If you can get alone in a room for 45 minutes or an hour with a counselor, you can work that out in some way. It's very valuable time, and you will get some techniques that will help you manage your days in a much more productive and positive way. For me, prayer was huge in terms of managing my stress, and not only those fervent prayers before you go to sleep or when you wake up in the morning. Remembering to be thankful, remembering to be grateful for those things that you do have that are blessings, and they are still there in spite of this. But the arrow, what I called arrow prayers, those, oh, help me, Lord, what do I do right now? Oh, here's a situation. Help me figure this out. I don't know what to do. Please show me what to do. Please show me what to say, Lord. I cannot tell you how many times those prayers were answered. I was given an answer. All of a sudden the words were there. The action was there. I was able to focus better. Prayer is a huge, huge part for many people of their caregiver journey. And I encourage you to utilize prayer, those practical little everyday things that happen. It helps you to remember that you're not alone. Even when it's just you and the person you love and you're caring for in the room, you're not alone. And there is someone there with you. Plug into that. Take advantage of that. Acknowledge that. And then you'll be able to tell stories like I can tell all the time because God was there. I believe that. He gave me the answers. He gave me things that I needed to know what to do. And He helped me to calm down and get over myself. Meditation is also a technique that's very, very helpful for calming you, for getting you centered again. Prayer, meditation, very, very important techniques. Many, many caregivers say they could not have gotten through their caregiving without this. I hope that you will learn to simplify your schedule. I hope that you will learn to say no to the things you need to say no to. You just can't do everything you used to do. You can't do everything others expect you to do. And they don't understand necessarily what you're dealing with. So, learn to say no. Say it with confidence. Say it without guilt. No guilt here. No, right now I'm doing a very important mission. I've been given a very important job to do, so I must say no to this one. I'll do it later, I hope, but I can't do it now. And that's okay. Eliminate those negative people from your life who are always giving you the shoulds and the coulds and the woulds. The people who are telling you about how hard it is and how bad it is and how it's not going to get any better. That doesn't help. You don't need that. Eliminate those people as much as you can from your life. You can't fix them. You can only work on you. but you can modify the amount of time you're spending with them usually. So eliminate them as much as you can from your life. Bring in those people who are positive, those people who make you laugh. Laughter is a huge and powerful antidote to stress. Anything that'll make you laugh. A good friend, oh, they're golden. A funny TV show, something silly on Facebook, anything that will make you laugh. There again, you got a chemical change going on in the body when you're laughing, and that's going to help you in your journey. Learn to prioritize. Learn to choose the important over the urgent. The story I like to tell about that is when John and I would sit out on our screened-in porch. The birds would be singing, we'd be sharing a cup of coffee, and we were being us, that wonderful time where we could still be us. Or it was just quiet, it was peaceful, it was a good and pleasant time. And then the phone would ring. Now the phone sounds urgent. The phone sounds like, you got to answer me now. 99 times out of 100, is it really urgent? Is it really important? Now, if there's a call that you're expecting from the doctor that you really need to get, you're looking for, then yep, you're going to have to do it. But most of the time, no. What's important is being together. What's important is making memories. What's important is weaving a legacy. Stories that you can tell, that others witness, or that you can tell others about, that are a better way to do this journey. That's important. Time together. Oh my goodness, I have so many wonderful memories. I'm so glad that I often embrace the important over the urgent, that I learned to say no. So I hope you will do that. It will really, really make a big difference. Make time for yourself a priority. Remember, this is about you as well as about the person who has dementia. You are just as important. And if you fall, they fall. So you've got to take care of yourself. This isn't something you should feel selfish or guilty about. It's smart. It's good caregiving technique. Take little times away. Take chunks of time away. Figure out how to make that happen. It's vital. It's vital to your health, vital to your survival even. It's vital to your loved one having a better time when you're with them. So make time for yourself a priority. Good caregiving technique, people. Not selfish. No guilt here. Very important that you do that. I hope that you will simplify things that are routine, like bill paying. I hope that you'll do that just once a month. Learn to do it online automatically. If you haven't done that already, get a family member to help you set up some sort of bill pay, automatic payment, drafting, because you got to pay those bills anyhow. And that will eliminate the number of checks you have to write. And please don't get in your car and drive all over town and pay those bills. That's especially in this day and age with the pandemic going on. So simplify that. Make it easy. Make it happen all at one time instead of random times throughout the month. Same with prescription filling. Almost all pharmacies have monthly systems now. They may be called something like Simplify My Meds, Sync My Meds, where you can get the medications that are routine for everyone in your household all at one time. Ask for that service at your pharmacy. There are also all kinds of advanced things now that are going on with pharmacies. Tap into those things that will simplify your schedule and your routines. Please remember to pay for those things or ask for help for those things which you shouldn't be doing now. You have a big job. Nobody else wants to do what you're doing. It's heroic work. Heroes are the ones who run into the burning buildings. Heroes are the ones who walk into these situations like you're in right now, and they stay, and they do what needs to be done, and they do the important work. So the things that aren't that important, that don't matter as much, but still kind of have to get done, pay for those things. Ask your church members, your family members, your neighbors, your friends to help you. Remember, this is not a solo sport you're in right now. It's a team sport. Bring on members of your team. Gather a team and ask for the help that you need. very, very important that you do that. Don't climb up and clean out your own gutters. I know a caregiver lady who did this, and she could have really hurt herself, and then it would have been over for her and her husband. So please don't do those kinds of things. Be willing to pay a little bit of money, or get over yourself, be humble, and say, you know what, I got to have help. Could you please help me do this particular thing? Please cut my grass for me. Unless the grass cutting for you is healthy and you're strong and it's good exercise, then it's going to vary from person to person. But ask for the things that you need, or pay for the things that you need that you shouldn't be doing. Last of all, I want you to think Scarlett O'Hara. No guilt, no worry. I'm not going to think about that today. I'm going to think about that tomorrow. I'm not going to let that come into this day. I have to do this. I'm not going to be guilty. Nobody else wants this job. I'm here. They don't get it like I get it. They don't get it like the other caregivers get it, and we get it. So no guilt, no worry. Just do what you have to do. Worry about that. Think about that tomorrow. Thank you for what you're doing. It's hero's work. Have a blessed day today.